What company has you shocked that they have not yet gone out of business? Guitar Center. I worked for them for 13 years. They were on the brink of death the whole time. On a Wednesday at around 2 p.m., I received a tap at my door from an elderly woman who wanted to show me a Kirby Hoover. Additionally, it appears that door-to-door salespeople will still exist in 2023. That furniture store that has had the going out of business sale going on for the last 4 years. All those awful kiosks in malls that sell stuff no one honestly needs. Still trying to charge what you can get for free on Facebook. Counting the days for LuLaRoe to call it quits. McAfee. Herbalife. AOL. AOL's 2022 revenue was $7.4 billion. AOL has 10,350 employees, and the revenue per employee ratio is $714,975 per. Exploding head. I hope they don't, but Arizona iced tea has cost the same my whole life. Good on them. Yahoo! They've been through a lot and are still staying alive. TV Guide still exists. Edit. I was referring to print, not the channel. All the mattress stores that are somehow across the street from each other and never have any customers but open new locations down the street all the time. Wells Fargo. Why anyone would still trust them with their money baffles me. Those adult video stores. Pretty sure Sears is still holding on? Fuck Ticketmaster. There is actually an old-time movie rental shop in my neighborhood. In 2023. I'm pretty sure it is a porn store jackoff booth and they just use movie rental as a business front. But I'm amazed that the place is still in operation after all these years. Mary Kay. Kohl's. Don't get me wrong. I love my Kohl's. But every time I go in there it feels like 90 of the shoppers there are just there to return their Amazon package. Kohl's does have some pretty good stuff, so I do hope they stay in business, mostly because they are just so convenient for returns. Equifax. They could hardly be doing less to take data security seriously. Yet they continue to exist as a for-profit entity with tremendous influence and no effective federal oversight. Chuck E. Cheese's. Lost its heyday years ago. Business sucks. Shows aren't that good. Animatronics mostly gone at this point. And debt. Lots of it. Surprised they're still around even though they just filed for bankruptcy 3 years ago. Edible arrangements. I'm convinced this company survives on one-time orders that are for the hell of it. Not actual repeat customers. It feels like they have been saying Claire's is on the edge of bankruptcy for 20 years. MapQuest. The Chinese buffet across the parking lot from the coffee shop where I work. My boss saw them defrosting fish fillets on the roof of a car once. Directly on the car. I don't know how many times we've had to call the health department on them. They leave the dumpsters looking like a war crime, too. British chain Frankie and Benny's. Shockingly bad food. Cooked by people unfamiliar with the concept of taste. In the kind of atmosphere you expect from a motorway services. All for the bargain price of a lot of money. So many casual dining chains have gone under over the last few years. How the fuck was Frankie and Benny's not one of them? Macy's. One of my favorite stores, but it gets pretty depressing to shop there. You see maybe like 2 employees on the entire floor. Products are often never organized and the fitting rooms are even worse. Clothes just dropped on the floor and no one ever checks how many clothes you go in with or what you truly do inside. Some Macy's are better but many are really bad. Feels like a complete ghost town. Rent-A-Center. Burlington. Place is basically Goodwill with clothes people haven't worn yet. Wells Fargo. Considering all the shady ways they try to harvest cash from their customers, I simply cannot believe anyone does business with them. I'm convinced that when the nuclear apocalypse finally happens, there will only be two things left on this earth: cockroaches and frontier communications. KFC. They lowered their quality so much I can't eat there. ETA, I've never had this many responses. Whoa. I actually have a Colonel Sanders tattoo. So, you can say I'm a fan. I'm really a fan of the man himself. He failed over and over and died a household name. Look him up. It's a cool story. I'm fascinated that this seems like a US only thing. I'm going to have to do. Someone want me to donate to my travel fund? JK. I'll start saving. To the people in charge of KFC. Give the people what they want and make KFC great again. MKFCGA. Kmart and Sears. They're on their last leg. And I'm going to be sad for them to go. But how there's still 2 Kmarts left and a couple dozen Sears left is shocking. Uber. Specifically Uber Eats. The company has hemorrhaged money for years. They have so many issues. Food quality issues. Timing issues. App issues. Legal issues. Driver issues. Low pay. They are fighting multiple class actions for a reason. I imagine this part of their business will be severed eventually. Maybe sold off to a competitor. Boston Market. Tim Hortons. It used to sell decent fare, but they expanded their selection of food in 2006. Got bought out and took an absolute nosedive in food quality. The only people who seem to like it are younger Canadians with no memory of the before times and newcomers to the country. Applebee's. Why are people going there? Why are people working there? My company, according to the bosses, every time they are in negotiations with our union for a new contract. But when they speak to anyone else, we are always doing fantastic. Funny how that works. Buffalo Wild Wings. Hear me out. Music so loud you can't hear yourself think. Wings that taste meh at best. And an insane price tag to boot. Redbox. Carvana. They offered me $300 for a car I sold for $6,000. They can get fucked. Kohl's. Things remembered. JCPenney. BetterHelp. So many ethical issues. Grimace. We have a Bennigan's down the street from us. It's really good. And we eat there frequently. I was surprised to learn recently that there are only something like 6 full-service Bennigan's left in the US. When I was a kid they were everywhere. The Monte Cristo still tastes exactly like you remember it. Uber. After 14 years and $32 billion of cumulative losses, they have only just this year started to turn a profit. There's a vacuum store in my town that's been open for as long as I can remember. With the ease of new stick vacuums and just in general IDK, who would ever need to go in there? Subway, Quiznos and Blimpie have better sandwiches. Staples. The mismanagement and insane pay of the incompetent is outrageous. They are incredibly top-heavy with mid to upper-level employees making $100,000 bonuses who contribute maybe $15,000 worth of actual effort. Fitbit. I had one years ago. But I am really surprised they are still around considering you can get more full-featured smart watches for the price. All those awful kiosks in malls that sell stuff no one honestly needs. Quiznos. All Quiznos where I live have gone out of business, yet some still exist in my state. Gods, I miss the place. Party City. Huge stores with thousands of SKUs, and I don't think I've ever seen more than 10 people inside one. Hardee's. The only time I ever see customers there is for their breakfast. I've never seen more than a car or two in the parking lot after 11 a.m.